A very good evening to all my dear students. Welcome back to another interesting class of corporate and other laws. On behalf of ICAI, I welcome all of you starting second book of CA Intermediate Law Syllabus today and a new chapter. Good evening, Almas, Ritika, Kushi, Soumya. Thank you, Soumya. Even I'm glad to see all of you back here in the class. Good evening, Anushka, Kushi, Mehra. Welcome to the class, everyone, and the students who have joined us on the portal also. A very warm welcome to all of you. So I hope you have completed your notes. You have done whatever we have discussed in the previous classes. Now we are going to start with a new topic, a fresh day, a new start with a new topic, that is management and administration. So we have started learning Companies Act. We have come to know how the company is formed, what are the important types of companies. Then we have learned how the prospectus is issued in the market and people come and take up the shares of the company. From therein, the word shares came, and we did the entire chapter of share capital and debentures. We learned another method of raising funds by the company, wherein the company is taking deposits either from its members or outsiders. So there were separate provisions for the deposits taken from the members. Can anyone recall the sections? What were the sections for the chapter of deposits? Yes, what were the sections for deposits? You're not supposed to switch on your cameras, Nidhi. Switch off your camera. And nobody's supposed to unmute in between. Yes. Very good. All of you have answered it correctly in the chat box. Section 77 to 87 to theek hai. But yes, Soumya, correct. 73 and 76, Miss P. Absolutely correct. These were the respective sections where we did acceptance from the members and from the outsiders. Mr. Ishan, excellent. Very good. Thereafter, we did how the charge, that is a security which is given, either against the assets is allowed to be getting registered. Okay, how the security is registered. Good evening, Nidhi, Rajveer Ray, all of you. Welcome to the class. Okay, you're very good. Soumya, the definitions also correct, sections mentioned, absolutely correct. After that, so we did registration of charges, how the charges are supposed to get registered. That was the entire procedure. We had different forms in which we learned which form we are filing with ROC. ROC gives us CHG2. If it is a fresh certificate of registration, what was CHG3, if anyone remembers? Because this weekend you were supposed to complete your notes for deposits and registration. Modifications, very good. Tirubha, excellent. The certificate given by ROC for the modification of charges. Memory, excellent. Very nice, all of you. So that means you have revised, you have very well studied what we have done till now. So now we are going to understand how the company actually runs. Now, children, the chapter Management and Administration, lovingly known as MGT by its abbreviation that we call it. So we call it like MGT in a short form. This chapter is very huge. But it never means that the chapters which are very huge become very tough. So my goal here is to make you understand what is there in the chapters. But if we have broken down it into 3 to 4 sessions, along with the questions from the case studies, along with the MCQs, we will try to understand and learn the content here only. And when the things are vast, then the hard work also comes into picture. Chapter bada hai, to kaam bhi bada karna padega. So whatever we are going to do today has to be revised maximum by tomorrow. Whatever we do day after tomorrow has to be revised by Thursday. And then you will start feeling that the chapter is very easy. It is lengthy because there are so many provisions in these chapters. But if you try to break down the chapter into 4 different chapters, then again you will start finding it as easy as acceptance of deposits and registration of charges. We find those chapters easy? Tell me yes or no. अगर हम compare करें, share capital and debentures was so huge, prospectus was so huge, but now you have fallen in love with that prospectus chapter that you know everything, that 4 types of prospectus will come, private placement will come, allotment in itself is a topic. So we divided all those chapters into different topics and different small chapters. So it became easy. So yes, definitely Priyanka says, Khushi also says कि deposits and registration of charges. तो easy था. तो अब हमने क्या सोच रहे हैं? हमने सोच रहे हैं आज हमने एक चैप्टर करना है जिसका नाम है रजिस्टर ऑफ मेंबर्स एंड एनुअल रिटर्न. फिर हमने एक चैप्टर करना है जिसका नाम है मीटिंग्स क्या होती हैं, हाउ द कंपनी कॉल्स इट मीटिंग्स, व्हाट इज द एंटायर प्रोसीजर ऑफ द मीटिंग. Then we are going to do a chapter which is known as minutes and resolutions and chairman, what happens, how the quorum is formed, all these different. So the simple tip of MGT is that you are going to break down into 4 different categories and you are going to learn it as if you are learning acceptance of deposit, the tiniest chapter. Try to learn the first part like that only. So in this way, the things will become much more simple. So as the name suggests, management and administration. So now we have joined the company. Now we are going to see how the company's admin part is done. So whenever you join any school or college, you must have seen there is an administration department that is just taking care of the HR is also part of it, how the recruitment is to be done, how the policies are to be framed, how the organization is running. Similarly, for a company, a lot of administration is required. You are different members, say A, B, C, D, F, so many members of the company. Where is the record to be maintained? Who all are the members? Who all are the debenture holders? Who are the other security holders? So for that, ROC mandatorily makes it the requirements of having registers. So like you have registers for your class, ROC has framed different registers, different forms in which the entries related to the name of the members or debenture holders, whosoever are there, has to be framed. Then there is an annual return. The name in itself suggests annual means one. Annual return means annually. Once in a year, you have to file a return with ROC. Again, we will see what are the contents. ROC has to be updated, how good your financial position is running, what kind of business you have been doing, who are your directors, KMPs. So today we'll be using so many words about which we have learned the meanings in chapter number 1 preliminary. So wherever the word OPC is going to come, I am going to take your test asking you what is OPC. Wherever the word small company is going to come, I am going to ask you. So be prepared to answer me today because that will give you a quick recap of your first book also, what you have been doing. So I told you in the previous class also, once the book is done, we don't have to forget it. We have to keep referring and keep opening the pages so that whatever we have stored here in the subconscious mind keeps getting reminded to us, along with the new chapters that you keep doing. Clear ho gaya? Then this chapter talks about the lot of things related to meetings. How the meetings are called. So there are different shareholders of the companies who will be invited for the meetings. You will be having annual general meeting or extraordinary general meeting. Now, these are the words which we have been hearing in the previous chapters also. Today is the day when we are going to understand the meaning of these words. What is AGM? AGM is annual general meeting. साल में एक बार जो general meeting होनी है उसका नाम है annual general meeting. But for transacting any special kind of business where you are having a very drastic decision has to be taken or important decision, I told you there are 4 types of ordinary businesses. Now in this chapter we'll be learning about that. I gave you a reference when we were doing other chapters. Apart from those 4 types of business which are known as ordinary business, any other business that you're doing is a special business. And for transacting special business, we generally have extraordinary children. So provisions of AGM we'll be doing under section 100. Provisions of AGM we'll be doing under section 96. Now, if you ask me, there are too many forms in these chapters. As far as possible, we'll try to retain them. I told you there are two big chapters, INC and MGT, जिसपे forms बहुत ज़्यादा vast है. INC also becomes easy if we are done with certain topics. But TAS, we have already learned. Share capital wale forms, we did few, but I told you it's okay. But deposits and registration of charges, we have learned within the class. So MGT forms, yes, we will be referring to the forms. Yes, I will be showing you different forms. As far as possible, try to remember them. But no need to put so much pressure on your mind कि इतने सारे forms थे, मुझे learn नहीं हुआ. Content is important. Form related question might come for 2 marks, so it's okay. You're preparing for 100 marks paper. So no need to worry at all. All right. So let's try to crack the bigger chapter into small parts and try to simplify it. And I'm going to help you to learn the chapter within the class itself. After the meetings, we have resolutions, then minutes. What is the meaning of minutes? Can you tell me? Have you heard about this word minutes? Minutes is basically a summary that we make for the meeting. Yes, who manages the affairs of the company, management and administration. Excellent, Priyanka. Very good. Khushi, Pragya, all those who are responding. Priyanka Pandey, Ishan, summary of the document, drafts of the meeting. Very good. So it is a kind of a summary that we make. How the resolutions are passed. I told you there are two types of resolutions, ordinary resolution and special resolution. In this chapter, we are going to understand what is the real meaning of the word resolutions. There will be a cases in which special notice is to be sent. Notice is another important topic of this chapter. So how the notice is sent for the meeting, to whom all we have to send the notice, what are the provisions for that? Part of your second class that we are going to do on 7th. So on 7th, we will be understand about the requirements of meetings, touch base of the notice, extraordinary general meeting. Today, we will talk about the basic points, that is registers, section 88, section 89, who is the beneficial owner of the company, how the significant beneficial owner has to go and get himself registered, what is section 90, 91, all these provisions are related to SBO, that is significant beneficial owner as well as register. And then we'll try to complete section 92, annual return, 93, 94, 95. कोशिश करेंगे section 88 से till section 95 in today's class. And if time permits, we'll try to start section 96. Otherwise, we'll take it forward, okay? All right. So let's begin the class with the first section of this chapter, that is section 88. So I told you that a company has to do the management, administration, we have to maintain the record for the members. So first register's name is Register of Members. Who are the members? Shareholders, equity shareholders, as well as preference shareholders who are residing in India or outside India. All their names have to be shown in a separate register. In which form? चलो जी, chapter का topic ही form से शुरू होता है, MGT1 form. So the chapter starts with MGT1 form has to be filed with ROC, in which all the entries are made in the register of members, equity and preference shareholders, whether the members are residing. So I have 10 members residing in USA, 20 members in India, and 10 members in Dubai. So do I need to put the names of all these members in MGT1? Yes, ma'am. The people residing in India का भी आएगा, US वालों का भी आएगा, and दुबई वालों का भी आएगा, चाहे वो equity shareholders है, चाहे वो preference shareholders. But for the debenture holders, which form I have to use? MGT2. For any other security holders, MGT3. So 3 forms are covered. MGT1, register for the members, debenture holders, MGT2, other security holders, MGT3. This is the first part of section 88. Second part of section 88, the entries have to be made in this register within 7 days of the date of approval by the board, approving the allotment and transfer of shares, debentures, or any other case. Now, how do you become a shareholder? When the securities have been allotted to you. In which section did we do the allotment of securities? Or the shares are transferred to you. We also did transfer and transmission of shares or debentures. So which was the section of allotment of securities? Excellent, Rajveer, Miss P. That means you're studying. Ishan, excellent. Section 39 deals with the allotment of securities. Minimum subscription, minimum application condition is met. All those rules of SEBI, if you have followed, very good, Anushka, Priyanka, then allotment of securities is done. So there is a person, Mr. A, to whom the securities were allotted on 30th September 2023. So by what date the entry should has been made in the register of members for Mr. A? MGT1 form register of members में कब तक इसका नाम आ जाना चाहिए? Within 7 days. So 7 days are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7th October 2023. His name should have been entered from the date of allotment of securities. Or Mr. A has transferred the shares to Mr. B. Now Mr. B becomes the member of the company. If he has transferred the shares on 1st October 2025, then by which date Mr. B's name should have been entered in MGT1 form? Very good. 8th October. Excellent. So, whosoever becomes the member, his name, if you become the member either by allotment of securities or by transferring of shares or debentures or any other securities, whatever the case may be, your name has to be entered within 7 days. Third point, index has to be maintained if the number of members are more than 50. Now, very interesting and simple basic points. When you are making a register of members, you have to make an index on the first page. What is the meaning of index? What is the meaning of index? छोटे होते से बनाते आ रहे हो ना, कॉपियों में इंडेक्स बनाया ना आपने. क्या होता है इंडेक्स? The summarized form that you have given, the glossary containing details, reference. Index is used for reference. The names are given, page number is given. इसकी डिटेल इस पेज में मिलेंगी, directory kind of thing for the indexation. So it says you have to make this index only if your number of members are more than 50. Now comes a new game into picture. If my number of members are equivalent to 50, do I need the index? Yes or no? सबने बोला no, क्योंकि interpretation of law कह रही है more than 50, but the answer is yes. So it should be equal to or more than 50. Index has to be maintained even if the number of members exact 50 also there, then also you need to have the index. MCQ में ऐसा question can come that do we need to have the index if the number of members are 50, there is a company, then say yes. Anand, Ruti, Kushi, Priyanka, Anushka, very good, all of you. 3 points clear. MGT1 for equity and preference shareholders, MGT2 for debentures, any other MGT3. Has to be made entry within 7 days of allotment or transfer of shares. Indexation required only if the number of members are equal to or more than 50. Now the place of keeping the registers. Up in registers को रखना कहाँ पर है? Registers shall be maintained at the RO of the company. What is registered office? The place which has been registered with ROC from where principal office of the company which you are operating. Unless a special resolution is passed, I need to clear the board because this provision itself is very detailed. So the fourth point that we are doing is, number 1 point and fourth point is the register has to be maintained at the RO of the company. Let's assume this registered office is in Delhi. So I will have to keep MGT1 register forms in Delhi. Clear as sabko? But I have another office in Mumbai also. And I want to keep my register of members in Mumbai. What do I need? I need to pass a special resolution in the general meeting which will authorize that you can keep your register at any place within the same city, town, village in which the RO is situated. Mumbai तो बाहर हो गया, outside city. वो कह रहे SR पास कर लेना अगर आपको रजिस्टर्ड ऑफिस में नहीं रखना है बट किसी और जगह पे रखना है विद इन द सेम सिटी, टाउन और विलेज. तो पहले तो ये बात करते हैं, अगर मेरा दिल्ली ऑफिस में, दिल्ली में कौन कौन रहता है? जल्दी से बताओ, दिल्ली में कहाँ रहते हो? सीपी सुना हुआ है आपने, कनॉट प्लेस. सो माय ऑफिस इज इन दिल्ली इन कनॉट प्लेस. नाउ आई वांट टू शिफ्ट माय ऑफिस. दिस इज माय आरओ ऑफिस, रजिस्टर्ड ऑफिस, बट देयर इज अनदर प्लेस इन Delhi that is GK or Rajouri Garden. These are different, like in Chandigarh or Punjab, we have sectors, there we have different places. Okay. So now I want to keep my this register of members in Rajouri Garden office or in GK office. Can I do that, children? What do I need? I need to get an SR pass. सिंपल सी बात है, वो कह रहे हैं आपका एक जगह पर सेम प्लेस में अगर आपका ऑफिस है within the same city town village, if you're not keeping at the registered office, you're keeping at somewhere else, please pass the SR and take the authorization from the members that we are keeping the registered at any other place within the same city town and village in which the registered office is situated. Clear ho gaya first point. Second point, now I am not keeping in Delhi, neither at CP or GK. I want to shift it to Mumbai. For that, it says for any other place in India in which at least more than 1/10 of the total number of members entered in the register of members reside. Now, what is the provision? Now, here the word is more than 1/10 of the members wherever they're residing. If my more than 1/10 of members are residing in Bombay, then yes, I can keep my MGT1 register in Bombay. Let's understand with the help of an example. If the company is having 10,000 members, what is 1/10 of 10,000? 1,000. Now, if my 1,006 members are residing in Mumbai, can I keep my register in Mumbai? Excellent. SR in general meeting will be passed and I can keep my register in Mumbai. Priyanka and Miss P and Ishan says yes, ma'am. What about others? Yes, Khushi Mera. Good. But if my number of members in Mumbai are 798, can I pass the SR and keep it? Number of members residing in Mumbai, then no. Because condition क्या है? More than 1/10 of the total members enters must be residing over. तभी मैं register वहां रख सकूं. एक और एग्जांपल करते हैं. There is a company ABC Limited. Its registered office is in Gujarat. So where do I need to keep my MGT1? In Gujarat. At the RO office. If I want to keep any other place other than RO, I need to pass SR in the general meeting. Clear hai? I want to go outside Gujarat. Then SR plus more than 1/10 of the members if they are residing. Suppose I want to shift my office register to the Chennai. What will be the condition? If the number of members are 1,000, then how many members should be there in Chennai? 101, kam se kam. Very good, Almas. Okay, very good. Anandruti, not 100, 101, more than 1/10. Very good, Pragya. 100 plus. So खुशी मेरा 100 plus 101 ही आएगा क्योंकि 100.5 will not work. 0.5 तो नहीं ना हो सकता. एक इंडिविजुअल नंबर ऑफ मेंबर्स में हमेशा फुल फिगर आती है. ओके, यस अनुष्का, गुड. Understood. First 4 points, section 88, clear to everyone. A company, if authorized by its articles, can keep the register in any country outside India also. चलो, अभी तक तो हम गुजरात से चेन्नई गए थे या दिल्ली से बॉम्बे गए थे. अब हम कहाँ जाना चाहते हो? दुबई चलें? I have my office in Dubai. A part of the register of members or debenture holders or any other securities of beneficial owners resident in that country, that register will be known as foreign register. But where is permission required? Permission is to be given by the articles of association. Okay. So if I have my office in Dubai, can I keep my register over there? Yes, ma'am. Number 1, articles should authorize. You can keep it in Dubai. A part of your register of members, debenture holders should be residing in that country. And 4th point, this register is known as foreign. Within 30 days from the date of opening of any foreign register, company has to file with ROC MGT3 form. So within how many days? So foreign registers के अलग से point कर लेते हैं. Point number 1 is clear. Point number 2, within 30 days of opening the foreign register, you have to intimate ROC. ROC को तो बताना ही पड़ेगा ना, कुछ भी कर रहे. MGT3 फॉर्म में बताना है. फॉरेन रजिस्टर की इंटीमेशन कौन से फॉर्म में देनी है? MGT3 फॉर्म. If you decide to change your mind from Dubai, you're shifting to Singapore, or you don't want to continue now, then again you have to file with ROC in MGT 3 form. Point number 3 says foreign register is part of company's register. If your principal office is still in Delhi, then this is part of your company's register. Anyone can inspect the foreign register. Point number 4. First 3 points. Foreign register can be kept registered outside India. Yes, if the number of members of debenture holders, equity holders, and other security holders, beneficial owners are residing in that country and articles have authorized. This is known as foreign register. कितने दिनों में ROC को intimate करना है? Hurry up. I have opened my foreign register on 1st November 2023. By which date I should intimate ROC by filing MGT 3 form. अब 30 days मत लिखो, 30th November 1st December 30th November जाएगा बेटा, 30 days. ठीक है? So, and is it a part of company's register? Yes, it is a part of company's register. Main register का company का part. Can I inspect this foreign register? A foreign register is kept open for inspection and may be closed. Extracts can be taken from it. Copies may be required in the same manner as applicable to the principal register. Now you said the copy which you're keeping at the RO office in Delhi, I can inspect it. Yes, any members and creditors can come and inspect it. You did not kept in RO. In CP, you kept it at GK office. Then also inspection can happen. But now you have kept the register in Dubai. It's a foreign register. Can you inspect it? Law says all the application of principal register is same applicable to foreign register also, means it shall be open for inspection. Nobody can put any hindrance that you cannot inspect. However, before closing the register, advertisement has to be given in 2 different newspapers. One is your English newspaper and another vernacular newspaper, circulating at a place where foreign register is kept. So whenever this is your 5th point, closing of the foreign register. So 4 points we have understood under section 88, register of members. Okay. Yes, Miss P, you will be counting that day also, na? 30 days from the date of opening. From the date of opening, first ko khola, to plus 30 days, 30th. All right. So then we did 5 points for foreign register. Inspection can also be done. And before closing, you have to send an advertisement that we are closing the foreign register. Transmission of a copy of every register. Transmission means to transmit. Now, whatever entry is made in the foreign register, within 15 days after this entry is made, company will send the information to RO office. हमारा RO office कहाँ था? Delhi में. Dubai वाले क्या करेंगे? They will send the information to Delhi office in India, a copy of every entry which is made in the foreign register within 15 days after the entries. Now, how many dates did we do? First is that I open the register on 1st November. So I filed with ROC by 30th November. Is everyone clear? I made entry on 12 December 2023 in foreign register. Now, what do I need to do? Do I need to inform RO office in India, that is in Delhi, by which date? You tell me. Khushi Mehra says 27 December. Everybody calculated the right date? Is it correct? Yes, Priyanka Pandey. Good. You will inform the ROC. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So by 26th December, you will have 15 days after the entry is made. So that day is included. So within 15 days from that particular date, you will have to inform. 26, 27 December, both are inclusive. So it's okay. But within that date, you have to inform the ROC. Entries of discontinuation. Company may discontinue by keeping the register, and all the entries made therein shall be kept by the company outside India or to the principal register. So whenever you have decided that you are no longer keeping the foreign register, then You need to transfer all the entries will be transferred either to some other foreign register, which is kept outside India, or to the principal register. Now, you have made all the entries of people who were residing in Dubai, Mr. John, Mr. Karan, Mr. Kalam, whosoever were there. Their record is there. So you have been transmitting the data, but now you're discontinuing. You will not be making. So whatever entries you have made till date, either you transfer it to the principal register or any other office of the foreign register kept outside India. Clear? So these were 0.6 for foreign register and 0.7. 7 points we have done with respect to foreign register. If a company does not maintain MGT1, that is register of members, or debenture holders kaun sa tha, MGT2 or any other securities, or fails to maintain them according to provision of subsection 1 or 2, then a company is liable to a fine of 3 lakh rupees, and every officer who is in default is liable to a penalty of 50,000 rupees. Now for this chapter, wherever you are doing the topic, registers are done. In your module, just keep writing with the highlighters or different pens what is the penalty for default of this section, because every section has a penalty. This is one chapter, an INC wala incorporation that has too many forms and too many penalties. So the simple thumb rule to learn is that wherever register under section 88 you start, on the side keep writing down 3 forms, MGT 1, 2, 3. I'll be showing you the forms also. And uski penalty starting mein likh ke rakh lo, company 3 lakh, officer in default 50,000. On the last dates, you don't have to search for the penalties. You will just simply read your highlighted points. You are able to remember it, it's okay. Otherwise, ठीक है, हो जाएगा तो वैसे हो जाए, बार बार पढ़ने से हो जा, ठीक है. बट मेहनत करो, नोट्स बनाओ, लिख के रखो उसे पेनल्टी को एंड फॉर्म्स को साइड पे, साथ के साथ ही टॉपिक के लिख. क्लियर? We will be reading related to registers from the study material also, and then we will come back to the presentation. So finding interesting so far, MGT? Let me open the study material. It's very simple. It just seems as if it's very lengthy, but it's very easy. So here is your management and administration. Section 88 to 122 we have to do in this chapter. 88 to 92, 93 we'll be doing today. A company is an artificial legal person. Day-to-day affairs are managed by the directors, collectively known as board of directors. Nothing very important, something which you have been knowing since childhood, that the shareholders can ratify the actions in general meeting means how the general meetings are happened, how the shareholders act, what are the decisions taken by the directors. The interesting part is all the history, geography related to directors is in your CA final. You don't have to do directors in your intermediate. So your major is concerned is general meetings of the shareholders, minutes, books, how they are maintained, how the AGMs happen, how the auditors comes and take the decisions for the ordinary business. Okay, so all these provisions are given. I just discussed with you how the chapter is divided, 88 to 91 and 95. So this is your session 1 that we try to cover all these. Then annual returns, and in another balance 2 we will be covering 96 to 102 and the requirements for the meetings. So here is your register of members. MGT1, see, you can see it is for the debenture holders. For MGT2, for members, it is MGT1. Maintenance of registers, rule 5 has to be given. Index, how many members if index is required? More than or equal to 5. Foreign register, MGT3. ये याद होना चाहिए आपको. Foreign register, MGT3. Abhi we have just done this much only. So let's read from here. Every company is required to keep. So this we have already done. Form number MGT1 is clear. However, if the company existing on the commencement, particulars are available, shall be transferred to the new members. So this is not very important thing. This is simply saying that before Companies Act 2013, if you were existing, please transfer your data in MGT1. If the company is not having share capital, then the register shall contain the following particulars. If you don't have share capital, then simply the name of the members, his corporate and entity number, email address, permanent account number, name of his guardian. If he's a minor, the name of his guardian has to be included. Very important. If you're a minor, then a minor cannot be shareholder. No? So his guardians and date of the birth of the member and address of the nominee has to be given. On what date you become the member, date of cessation, if you stop being a member, then that date also shall be entered in the register. तो पूरा record बना रहा है. Register of members means whole of your record, amount of any guarantee or any other interest if you have given, instructions if any given by the member with regard to sending of the notices, everything has to be given. If you are a company before 2013, then your details will be again transferred to MGT1. Additional information and rules made, such information may be added. MGT2 is required for debenture holders तभी same way में बनाना है. Any other requirement? What is the time period for making the entries? Hurry up, tell me. What will you have highlight over here? Within 7 days. Consequent upon forfeiture, buyback, reduction or subdivision, issue of sweat equity shares, transmission, shares issued, ESOPs, all these things provided or issue of duplicate new share certificate shall be made within 7 days after approval. कह रहे मैम आपने ये बता दिया अप्रूवल अलॉटमेंट ऑफ सिक्योरिटीज एंड ट्रांसफर, उसने सारा ही बता दिया कि क्या क्या हो रहा है, फोरफीचर हो रहा है, कैंसिलेशन हो रहा है, रिकॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हो रहा है, मर्जर हो रहा है, स्वेट इक्विटी शेयर्स है, व्हाटएवर यू हैव इशूड. Okay, Miss P, don't worry. Here you have to learn as per the law's provisions. Okay. So 7 days is correct, Priyanka Pandey. That is great. MGT3 is for other securities also, but it is specifically for the foreign register, Priyanka. MGT3 is for your foreign registers. Okay. For the securities is also MGT2, children. Please correct it. For debenture holders and other security holders, it is MGT2. Let me just show you. So for foreign registers, it is MGT3. So this is for your register of members, MGT1, debenture holders and other security holders, both are MGT2. Within 7 days, you have to make the entry. And for your foreign register, it is MGT3. Okay. MGT3 is 30 days has to be filed with the ROC. If you are. Okay, Miss Nisha, I'm glad it's your first class and you're enjoying the session. That's wonderful. Okay, place of maintaining, where will you keep the register? At RO of the company. Children, can I keep it somewhere else? Ma'am, please pass SR. अब यहाँ पे साइड पे हाइलाइटर से लिख लेना है. SR is required if outside RO office, but same city or village. But if it is same city and village, then only SR is required. But if I'm going outside country, outside city, different city, then what is the condition? Tell me, children, along with SR, what else have to be seen? If I am taking my register outside the city, what else needs to be seen? At least 1/10 of more than 1/10 of the members shall be residing over there. After that, it says if any order is passed by SEBI or competent authority and giving directions for the remittance, reference of such order shall also be indicated in the respective register. Just another information that they have given, nothing very serious. Any hypothecation, pledge, charges, liens that you have created, please make the entry in the register within 15 days from such event. Here it is talking specifically about outside India, so we have already done within 15 days the entry has to be made. Updating of change in the status of members. Now, because of death or insolvency, anything has happened, the member is no longer existing or debenture holder is no longer existing, then children, what happens is you have to transfer the entire information to IEPF fund. In this chapter, we'll be understanding about Investor Education Protection Fund also, the status of the member, whether due to death or insolvency or change in name, or due to transfer to IAPF or any other reason has happened, you have to explain why this change occurred. ROC has to be intimated about the same also. There will be certain cases in beneficial owner, we will understand how the amount get transferred to IEPF. And rectification, if any rectification is to be made under 88, order will be passed by the competent authority and the necessary reference of the order should also be given. तो अगर कोई rectification भी करा है या order pass हुआ है, उसको भी आपने indicate करना है register में. Index has to be made. Now, this is the correct line where the number of members is less than 50. So side पे क्या लिख लेंगे हम? Index is required if the number of members are more than or equal to 50. If the number of members are 47, do I need the index? Yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am? Maybe hypothecation means where the charge has been created. Like I told you, for if I have given my immovable property as a security. So I cannot pick up my property and give it as security to the bank. I have to hypothecate it, means I have to give certain transfer documents or ownership papers will have to be given to the bank. So that is a hypothecation period. And no was the correct answer. Well done, all of you. Now we are talking about the register and index of beneficial owners. Sometimes you are the registered owner, but the benefit of that shareholding is to be given to somebody else. So that somebody else becomes the beneficial owner. Generally, we did. It is in case of depositories. Under Depository Acts, when online shares are issued, online formats, that demat form you're using, it shall deem to be the corresponding register and indexation. Means if any person has set out his name, is given as a beneficial owner in the depository, then it will be considered as if the requirement of Section 88 has been met. Foreign register, you can see this aeroplane flight to Dubai. So foreign register, only the place where the security or debenture holder are residing. Filing of the notice within 30 days, you have to file with the ROC. MGT3 form, any discontinuation also within 30 days. Foreign register is part of company's register. What is the format? It is the same format. Inspection can be done, yes. And what needs to be required to be done when you close the register? If I am planning to close my foreign register, procedure to change the place. Mr. Omkar, if you're changing the place, so we will be discussing about Section 91, closure of register. There you will understand this point. Advertisement has to be given in the newspaper. Excellent. 2 newspapers advertisement has to be given. At least 2 newspapers is important. Decision of the appropriate competent authority binding with respect to rectification. A foreign register has been kept outside India and Dubai. So whatever decisions are taken by the appropriate authority of Dubai regarding rectification, they shall be binding, means that have to be followed. Entries have to be made within how many days? Whatever entries have been made over here has to be duly approved by the board of directors and after the allotment of security. And within how many days you transmit a copy? Okay, somebody has asked a doubt in this point. Company shall transmit to its RO in India a copy of every entry made in the foreign register within 15 days after the entry is made. So it says that whatever entry, suppose Mr. John has entered as a shareholder in your company, so you made his name entered in your foreign register. Now, whatever details you have entered over here, within 15 days, you have to send the same information to your RO office, which was in Delhi. उसको भी बताना है. कहने का मतलब ये आप एट पार चल रहे हो, ये नहीं कि फॉरेन रजिस्टर में आप कुछ भी डालते जा रहे हो और प्रिंसिपल रजिस्टर में कुछ पता ही नहीं चल रहा है. Within 15 days, every transmission of the copy of each entry has to be made. Clear? Keeping a duplicate foreign register, obviously the company will also keep a duplicate register so that it can be updated. Now, they will be updating their register. You have made the entry of Mr. John over there. They have sent you the transmission of copy. Now you make your entry in the duplicate register. Duplicate register is part of your principal register. Okay? Transactions not to be registered in any other register. No transaction with respect to shares, debentures, or those shall be registered in a foreign register during the continuation shall be registered in any other register. तो आपको जब तक वो register follow हो रहा है, suppose MGT3 that you're following, everything has to be recorded in this MGT3 register only, not in any other place. But if you discontinue, then all the entries will be transferred either to foreign register kept outside India, number 1, or to the principal register, which is kept in Delhi. And if you don't comply with the provisions, what was the penalty? 3 lakh rupees and 50,000. Nature of defense is a compoundable offense. What is the meaning of compoundable offense? Do you know that? Compoundable offense means any offense that can be compromised with view of imprisonment. So uncompoundable होता है कि जिसमें कोई छूट नहीं दी जाती. Means if you have to go to a jail, you will have to go to a jail. But compoundable is where we can increase your fine, but there will not be any jail. MGT 1 and 2 require the details of nomination as read in section 72. So today, revise your section 72 that you did for debentures. Similarly, you have to give the nomination details over here also. Authentication of entries. The entries made and the index shall be authenticated by the company secretary. Very, very important. Who is going to authenticate? Who is going to check whether everything in the register is correct? CS of the company. And if CS is not there, any other person authorized by the board and the date of board resolution. Foreign register में जो entries करी है, they will be authenticated by CS of the company or any other person authorized by the board by appending his signature to each entry. In India, that you have kept the register under 88 and as indexation, whether 50 or more members, CS will see everything has been authenticated, correct entries has been made. Either the CS will authenticate, means who sign करेगा, उसके records उसके पास रहेंगे, या फिर any other person authorized by the board. And when board is authorizing, board resolution will be passed. But in foreign register, this board resolution is not going to come up. Either the CS of the company or any other person जिसको board ने बोला by appending his signature. Means he will put his signature in front of each entry and the records will be considered as authentic. Luxury hairstyles allotted 500 shares in the name of Mr. Zoe's daughter Mila, who is 4 years old. Mr. Joe, the director of the company, has approached you. Please advise how the entries are to be made. Now, Mila is 4 years old daughter. She's a sweet little girl. So she's a minor. She's incompetent to enter into a contract. Minor cannot be a shareholder. So whose name will be entered? Since minors are incompetent, the name cannot be entered in MGT1. So Joe is advised that while filing MGT1, the name of minor will be entered only with the details of the guardians are available. So Zoe's name will appear in the register of member since Myla is a minor. So we have taken that Zoe, जो mother hai, she is the legal guardian, her name will appear. So these are the kind of things that you have to take care in register of members. Omkar, I'll just explain you. Compoundable offense, it's not part of your syllabus. I just told you that compoundable offense is offense which can be compounded, means which can be compromised. Means you had to go to the jail also and there was a fine also. So law says, okay, we'll leave the jail. We'll increase your fine. You don't have to go for the jail. But uncompoundable are where it is very stringent that you have to go to the jail. There is no compromise. That is the meaning of compoundable. Means इनको compromise करा जा सकता. Okay? Yes, where were we? So I was trying to tell you that in case a minor is there, so it is not that whatever entries that you are making in the register of members, it has to be seen how these entries are being made. Okay, if they are joint holders, then whosoever name appeared in the seniority, his name will be entered. If there is a minor, then his legal guardian's name has to be entered. Now, this will be a mistake if you have entered Myla's name and written that 4 years old child. That is wrong. You will have to enter Zoe's name. Tanya and Tarun, who have recently got married, joint shareholders, were jointly holding 1,000 shares. Tarun intimated the company that only the name of his wife shall appear in the records with respect to the joint share. Directors are not sure whether this is possible, given that the shares were held in the names of both. So without looking into the answer, just tell me whose name shall appear. In case of joint shareholders, I just told you one point. If you are joint shareholders, then the reason is that the articles will provide whosoever is seniority wise, your name has to be appearing. Both names will appear. Okay. Nishan says Tanya's name. So joint shareholders may request that the names have to be put or execute transfer of their holdings as a part of their name and part showing the name of the other one. However, condition that Tarun, the only name of his wife should appear, cannot be acceded. Although the names can be entered in the order such that the name of wife appears first, the reason is the articles provide for exclusion of any other name, seniority shall be determined by the name. Now, what is he trying to tell you? In simple language, he tries to tell you that you cannot simply exclude the name just out of your own cause. You have to include both the names But yes, you can see whatsoever is the seniority, how the seniority is judged. Whosoever's name is registered first will be considered as a senior member and his name will be entered in the register of members first. If you want to write down small notes for this topic, so please write down number 1, point related to minor. Please write down point related to minor. In case of a minor's name, only his legal guardians name can be entered in the register of members. In case of a minor, his legal guardian's name can only be entered in the register of members. Point number 2, where you are joint shareholders. Here the names will be entered. In the sequence of seniority. Which shall be determined by whosoever name is entered first. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे अगर एमसीक्यू आ जाता है तो इसका आंसर सीनियरिटी है, माइनर का आ जाता है तो लीगल गार्ड. Clear, everyone? Let's quickly see who is a beneficial owner. Declaration of beneficial interest in any share. Section 89 deals with the declaring of the beneficial interest. Let's take a very interesting example. There was Mr. Ram, who was the registered owner of the shareholder. His name was entered under Section 88 in the register of members because he took the shares in the company in year 2021. Suddenly he decided that now I'm not going to do any work and I just want peace of mind and I won't be doing anything. I will just enjoy the returns which are coming from my share. And for these returns that are coming, he assigned as a beneficial owner to his son, Suhan. He said, I just want to be at peace. You give me whatever share of profits you want to give me, but you be my beneficial owner. You are going to get the returns of my share. Beneficial owner, Ishan is saying if Tarun. So Ishan, we just understood that you cannot comment that somebody's name shall be excluded or somebody's name has to be entered first. We have to follow the articles, how they tell us, and simple rule is seniority has to be seen. Okay? Yes, Priyanka, both the names will become. So here, Sohan now has become the beneficial owner. Whatever the benefits are coming from these shares will be given to Sohan. But how will the company come to know that Ram, the registered owner who is there, now wants that the beneficial owner should be somebody else? So it says any person who is holding the beneficial interest under section, any person, members not holding beneficial interest, any person who is holding the beneficial interest, or any change in the beneficial interest, all these people will have to file a declaration within 30 days with the ROC, and also the company will have to intimate the ROC within 30 days. Let's go and read from the presentation. Members who are not holding, so section 89 says there are 3 types of members, 89 subsection 1, subsection 2, subsection 3. If you are not holding any beneficial interest, if you are holding beneficial interest, or whatever beneficial interest you're holding, there is any change in that, neither of the case you will have to make a declaration that I am filing a declaration of this beneficial interest, whether you're holding it or not holding it now, within 30 days. and also the company will have to file it with the ROC in 30 days. Where the declaration is to be filed under Section 89 is not made by the beneficial owner with respect to the shares shall not be enforceable by him. Now, Ram was the registered owner. He has said that please give my returns to Sohan, who is the beneficial owner. Now, he has not filed the declaration with company. Company does not know that who is Sohan. So, he will lose his rights related to the shares. What will happen? Beneficial owner will lose his rights. So, please write down where the declaration under Section 89 is not filed. The beneficial owner loses his right, means he cannot claim the rights. If he has not filed, means he cannot claim his rights. This Section 89 occurs when registered owner is somebody else and the beneficial owner is somebody else. Then you have to intimate the company. Such intimation will be done in MGT 4. Then the person who has acquired the interest, similarly, the company will also be making the information to the ROC that this is the person whose name is not appearing, but he's the beneficial owner of the shares. Once you have filed this declaration, company files MGT 6 with the ROC, then it is freeze that this declaration under Section 89 has made. But if you fail to file this declaration, Sohan has to inform to the company has to inform with the ROC. If you have not filed, then you cannot claim his rights, means whatever advantages were to be given, now you cannot claim that. However, this rule is not applicable to the trust created by mutual fund or the venture capital or any other funds approved by SEBI. Now, what happens? Sometimes mutual funds also create a trust that, okay, we have created a trust for your investment and beneficial owner is somebody else. This is how mutual fund bodies work. They create a trust for someone. I am an intermediary body and I have created a trust. Beneficial owner is somebody else. I have done your investments, but you are the beneficial owner who will be eating the interest out of that. So this 89 rule is not applicable because the basic job of mutual fund, venture capital funds and other SEBI funds is to do this work. So though they don't have to file the declaration with the ROC or the company. Duty of the company to pay dividend is not affected. Company will still keep on paying the dividend, but you will not get the benefit if you are not given the declaration. And whatever the default happens, if you have not complied with Section 89, then 50,000 rupees default plus 200 for each day, maximum of 5 lakhs. And officer in default, again, maximum of 5 lakhs. 1,000 for each day during which the default continues, maximum 5 lakhs, but in case of a company, 2 lakhs. So if the default is made by the person who is required, so Sohan has not given the declaration, this is his fine. Company has not given the declaration, then this is the fine. So Section 89 simply talks about the declaration of interest. It says if you are the beneficial owner, then please inform the company. So declaration, a person whose name is entered as the holder, but does not hold the beneficial interest, means Ram's name is entered, but he says that Ram is going to be the beneficiary. He is the registered owner. In our example, these examples mein likh lena, Ram is the registered owner. But who is the beneficial owner? Sohan. Then Sohan will have to give a declaration in MGT 4, specifying the name and other particulars who hold the beneficial interest. This declaration, MGT 4, has to be made within 30 days of his name is entered. So within 30 days, Ram will inform that, look, Sohan is the person who is going to be the beneficial owner. Person holding the beneficial owner, this was given by Ram in MGT 4. Now, Sohan is going to give the declaration in MGT 5. Every person who holds or requires beneficial interest, he will file a declaration in MGT 5 within 30 days. Declaration of change in the beneficial owner, if any change happens, Sohan की जगह रोहन हो जाता है तो कुछ change भी बताना पड़ेगा, intimate करना पड़ेगा within 30 days. रजिस्ट्रार के पास कंपनी कौन सा फॉर्म लेकर जाएगी? MGT 6. So registered owner is going to file MGT 4. Beneficial owner is going to file MGT MGT5. Company is going to file with ROC, which form, my dear students? MGT6. 30 days, 30 days, 30 days. Where have you gone? Sleeping, all of you? Yes, 30 days, MGT4, 5, 6, कुछ भूल ही नहीं रहे. कहाँ गए? अभी ब्रेक नहीं हुआ? All right. Yes, good. MGT4 by registered owner, MGT5 by beneficial owner, MGT6 by company. The company may designate a CS, KMP, or every other director. Every person so designated, following persons shall deem to have been designated persons. So he's just telling who is going to do the authentication. All right, consequences of non-declaration is important. If you have not filed the declaration, then you will lose your rights. You will not claim the benefits. Exemption is important. Venture capital funds, mutual funds, and the SEBI funds. Duty of the company means nothing contained will affect the obligation of the company to pay the dividend, and the said obligation shall stand discharged. So you have to pay the dividend to your registered owner. Whether the beneficial owner has given the declaration, then only will get the benefit. For the purpose of section 89 and 90, what is the meaning of beneficial interest? Beneficial interest in a share means either through a contract or arrangement, the right given to a person alone or together with any other person. He is exercising all or any of the rights for the share, or he has the right to participate the dividends. So I told you, Ram is a father. He said, I don't want any share and profits. I am assigning my rights to the beneficial owner. My son has now become the beneficial owner. So he will be exercising all the rights for the share and he will be receiving the dividend. But उसे dividend कब मिलेगा? जब वो section 89 में MGT5 करेगा file, Ram MGT4 करेगा and company MGT6 file करेगा. Then only he will get this. Above mentioned exemption is applicable to the government company which is not committed a default. So section 89 children is not applicable to government company. So if you have made a default, a person who was required to make a declaration means Sohan has failed to do, then 50,000 and 200 rupees each. Maximum of penalty shall not exceed 5 lakhs. If company has failed to file the declaration, 1,000 for each day, maximum of 5 lakhs. So 2 penalties, 2 sections and 6 forms we have given reference. MGT1, register of members, debenture holders or other security holders, MGT2. Foreign registers, MGT3. Beneficial owner, registered owner is filing MGT4, beneficial owner MGT5, company files MGT6. With ROC, you fail to make this declaration, beneficial owner will lose his rights, he will not get the benefits, and penalty is separate for the person who failed to file the declaration. Penalty is this. If company has not filed, then there is a different penalty. Okay, clear? Absorb section 88 and 89 because then we are going to do a very interesting section, SBO, that is significant beneficial owner. Let's take a small break here and then we'll proceed. Let's take a, so we are taking a break here. fine that you have shared. Ishan is saying, can the rectification be done only by the order of CG or it has to be communicated? Seniority shall be of any age or we become member on first basis. So, Ishan, regarding your second question, seniority, if you're asking about the age, so age factor, I told you, there is only the point which you have to consider related to the minor, has to be kept in point. And for the seniority that you're asking, it is related to your beneficial owner. Oh, sorry, it is related to your joint shareholding. Okay, seniority is related to joint shareholding and age is related to the minor. Now let's begin with the definition of who is a significant beneficial owner. Section 90 talks about register of significant beneficial owner. 89 told us about the beneficial owner. So we have understood all those three forms and I'll be showing you all these forms also in today's class. Now we are going to understand who is a significant beneficial owner. What is the difference between a BO and SBO? Significant and beneficial owner we are calling SBO. Any individual who alone or together or through one or more persons or trust is having these rights. He is holding indirectly or directly more than 10% of the shares of the company. So you're a significant beneficial owner if you are holding directly or indirectly more than 10% of the shares. Or you are holding directly or indirectly more than 10% of the voting rights. Whatever voting rights are there, more than 10% you're holding. He has a right to receive or participate in more than 10% of the distributable dividend, or he has the right to exercise significant influence or control in any other manner other than the direct holdings. So if you are an individual who together with such persons possess one or more of the following rights. So even if one of the right is there, more than 10% of the shareholding, if you're having, you become SBO. If you're having more than 10% of the voting rights, then also you become SBO, more than 10% of the distributable dividend. So basically more than 10% is the limit. You have to remember the word shares, voting rights and dividend that I have highlighted for you. Or you're exercising significant influence or control or any other manner, then you become significant beneficial owner. Then you become significant beneficial owner. Now, what are the registers of significant beneficial owner? Every significant beneficial owner is required to disclose the nature of interest. कि मैं कैसे हूँ ऐसे? Either I'm because of 10% shareholdings, either I'm for 10% of the voting rights. How I become, I have to disclose my nature of interest and other particulars from time to time to the company, and the company is informing us. MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, has issued company beneficial rules which deals with specific identification and reporting in connection with SB. So I told you the first part of the chapter specifically deals with two important topics, that is registers under section 88. Even under 90 and 91, we have reference of registers, and section 89 and 90, which specifically deals with the beneficial owner and the significant beneficial owner. So we just did the definition that either you are holding a loan or together or with some sort in respect of the SBO declaration is required to be filed. So company, wherever he is having an SBO, significant beneficial owner, the declaration has to be filed. So the same points, 10% of the shares, 10% of the voting rights, 10% of the dividend, or you're exercising the significant influence or control. So it says in simple term, SBO is an individual who together along with his trust is holding all these 10% of the rights. Now, what is the meaning of significant influence? Significant influence was previously not defined for the rules, hence to provide the clarity, significant influence means power to participate directly or indirectly in the financial and operating policies of the company. There was one word where we did having a significant influence, where we were having associate company relationship. But now with respect to SBO rules, what are they trying to tell you? What is the meaning of significant influence over here? Means the SBO is a person who is having directly or indirectly is affecting your financial and operating policy decisions of the reporting company, but is not control or joint control. Influence kar raha hai, but jointly control nahi kar raha, so he will come under the definition of significant influence. Is that clear? So direct and indirect shareholding, both can be there, either directly or doing. Indirectly means when a shareholder is a body corporate or HUF or partnership entity, then along with them or pooled investment vehicles. then that will also be considered as SBO. Onus on the reporting company to identify SBO and cause him to make a report declaration. Now, this is very interesting. This is the procedure how we're going to start. The reporting company, ABC Limited is a company. SBO is there, Mr. A, who is holding more than 10% of the voting rights. It is on the onus, means the proof lies on the reporting company that this SBO has to make a declaration in the prescribed. Section 90, read with the amendment rules, the company will give a notice in form Ben 4. Now here, there are forms which are given over and above in different points. So we will first try to understand the significant declaration rules. We will try to do them in the sequence of the forms, that is Ben 1 has to be filed, Ben 2 has to be filed. Now we move into beneficial ownership. So the form has changed to BE1. Earlier we were doing MGT forms in the first registers at this point, but for beneficial owner, we have Ben forms. So first you had done the definition. You understood the meaning of significant influence. If you are doing any such things, you are a significant beneficial owner. हमने ये learn करना है इसमें से. फिर हमने क्या करना है? ओमकार, onus means the proof. The proof lies on the reporting company. ये वाला पार्ट हम बाद में पढ़ेंगे, रूल 7. पहले हम ये पढ़ते हैं. Declaration कैसे देंगे? First part is how the declaration has to be given. Point number 1. Every SBO on the date of commencement of rooms is required to file a declaration in Ben 1 within 90 days from the commencement of this rule, and the company is required to file Ben 2 within 30 days of receiving the intimation from the significant beneficial owner. So what we have to learn, there is a significant beneficial owner, Mr. A. He has to file which form? Ben 1 with the company. Company has to intimate ROC within 30 days, inform Ben 2 in 30 days. ये रहने दो 90 days from the commencement of this act. ये तो commencement of rules की बात कर रहा है ना. तो Ben 1 आपने देना है to the company, and company is going to give Ben 2 within 30 days. An individual who subsequently becomes significant beneficial owner, or there has been any change, he has to file a declaration in Ben 1 within 30 days of such thing. So 30 days is the thumb rule. Every SBO will make a declaration specifying his interest or whatever changes has happened, that also in Ben 1. Company is filing Ben 2 with ROC in 30 days. Ben 1 क्या है मैम? Ben 1 एक फॉर्म है बेटा. Priyanka is asking me what is Ben. That is what we are doing. Listen children, अभी तक हम कर रहे थे MGT forms. MGT 1 क्या है? जल्दी बताओ मुझे. डिबेंचर उसका, मेंबर्स का, इक्विटी एंड प्रेफरेंस शेयर होल्डर्स के रजिस्टर का. MGT 2 क्या है? डिबेंचर होल्डर्स एंड अदर सिक्योरिटी होल्डर्स का रजिस्टर्स का. MGT 3 क्या है? फॉरेन रजिस्टर्स का फॉर्म है. सबको याद हो गया. MGT 4, 5, 6 क्या था? बेनिफिशियल ओनर. MGT 4 में फाइल कर रहा है अपना डिक्लेरेशन. MGT 5 में the person who is making the declaration, registered owner. MGT 5 beneficial owner, and MGT 6 में company is filing with the ROC. Clear है सबको? Everyone. Now we are doing separate section, that is section 90, which in itself is a different topic, significant beneficial owner. हम अचानक से किसी और दुनिया में आ गए. MGT में मैंने आपको कहा था छोटे छोटे अलग अलग चैप्टर्स. सो MGT वाले फॉर्म्स थोड़े टाइम के लिए सबसाइड कर जाएंगे. हम फॉर्म कर रहे हैं BEN 1 फॉर्म, 2 फॉर्म, 3 फॉर्म्स, दैट इज बेनिफिशियरी. BEN is the short form of beneficial owner. Clear है everyone? On the same page? Are you now aware? Because somebody I think was going on a break and immediately has entered and they are surprised कि out of MGT what is BEN. So you have to be very regular in whatever the class is going on. Clear? Okay. So we have just filed our interest. You are an SBO. Who is an SBO? Definition we just did. More than 10% of the shares, more than 10% of the voting, more than 10% of the dividend, or you're exercising significant influence or control. What is significant influence and control, ma'am? If you're having control on the, if you're having the power to participate in the financial and operating policy, but you're not controlling. उसके बाद मैंने अभी ये सब छोड़ दिया है, हम यहाँ आ गए डिक्लेरेशन, बिकॉज आई वांट टू टीच यू इन द सेम फॉर्म एज यू हैव टू बिकम, लर्निंग बिकम्स इजी. सो यहाँ पर हमने क्या अंडरलाइन करा, बेन 1 में एसबीओ इज गोइंग टू फाइल अ declaration. Ben 2 में company is going to file a declaration in 30 days with ROC. Any change again in Ben 1. If an individual becomes SBO or undergoes any change within 90 days from the commencement shall deemed to have been become. So this you can leave 90 days. Simple rule, period of 30 days for filing shall be reckoned accordingly. So you have to count the 30 days because 2019 बहुत पुराना हो गया ना 2019. So 30 days from now if you're becoming SBO. This talks about non-applicability of rules. किसको applicable नहीं है, IEPF अथॉरिटी को, होल्डिंग कंपनी को, सीजी को, रिपोर्टिंग कंपनी, एंटिटी, इन्वेस्टमेंट व्हीकल्स, इनको ये सेक्शन 90 applicable नहीं है. The rules are not applicable to the extent of reporting of shareholder. Penalty for contravention आ गया, but now let's go back to what the company has to do. The company will now maintain a register of SBO in Ben 3. We did point number 1 and point number 2. Please keep marking with me. Point number 1 was this. Point number 2 was this. Everybody clear? Point number 3 क्या mark करेंगे हम? Ben 3 हम पढ़ेंगे third में. अब क्या कह रहे हैं? Company will make a register. Every company will make a register of SBO and Ben 3, which shall kept open for inspection during business hours. So there is a register in Ben 3, which is to be maintained. Like we were making registered MGT1 and MGT2 for debenture and equity shareholders, for registered for significant beneficial owner, we make the register in Ben. Can you inspect it? Yes, ma'am, can be inspected. Children, can I go and inspect at midnight 1 a.m.? Can I go and inspect the SBO register? Please tell me, all the sleeping champs. Can I go and inspect at midnight? Why not, ma'am? Because it is only open for inspection during business hours. And for how long it will be open? At least for 2 hours. And on any working day. By any member, inspection can be done on the payment of fees, but not exceeding 50 rupees. So what are the hidden points in this small paragraph? SBO register has to be maintained in Ben 3. It can be inspected during business hours for 2 hours. On any working day. Can I go and inspect on Sunday, my dear students? No, ma'am. Only during business hours and working days. Only working days. Very good. And do I need to pay fees more than 50? Maximum fees is 50. Clear, everyone? Now, what is Ben 4? This third point is clear. Now, let's move to the point number 4. Where the person fails to give the company information required by the notice within the time period, notice shall be given in Ben 4 for providing the information within 30 days. Where the information given is not satisfactory. Now, what has happened? You failed to give your Ben 1 to the company. So, company is going to send you a notice in Ben 4. Within 30 days, notice shall be given in Ben 4, providing the information within 30 days. Either the information that you have given is wrong or you have failed to give the information. Within 30 days, Ben 4 will be filed. It will apply to the tribunal within a period of 15 days from the expiry of the period given in the notice for an order directing the shares in the question with regard to this transfer or suspension. Reporting company will apply to the tribunal for order directing to the shares in question subject to restrictions including. नीचे जा रहे हैं अभी. अब क्या हुआ है, एसबीओ ने, जो हमारे केस में एसबीओ था, मिस्टर ए, he failed to file his declaration. I told you beneficial owner will not get his rights if you have not filed. So if you fail to give the company information which is to be required to be given for the notice, Ben 4 will be filed. We will go to the tribunal in 15 days. Suppose the time period in Ben 4 was given to be 18 days, you have to revert. You were not reverted in 18 days. Now, next 15 days, whatever the time is given in the notice, next 15 days, tribunal will pass an order that all these rights related to SBO shall be suspended. Either he will restrict the transfer of interest, or he suspend him to receive dividend, or he will suspend his voting rights, or any other restrictions can be imposed with respect to such shares. Tribunal will give an opportunity of being heard to such party. within a period of 60 days, he has to revoke. Company or any other person who is agreed by the tribunal will make an application for lifting the restrictions within 1 year from the date of order. If no such application has been received in 1 year, then whatever rights are over there, authority constituted under Investor Protection Fund Authority, all the shares will stand transferred to IEPF Fund Authority. Now, what is happening over here? What is happening? Let's divide it into point. SBO's definition is clear. Ben 1 and Ben 2 is clear. Ben 1 has to be filed 90 days from the commencement. हमने छोड़ दिया, हमने सिंपल याद रखा है 30 days में कोई भी चेंज होता है. Ben 1 फाइल करो, कंपनी Ben 2 फाइल करती है आरओसी के साथ. इनको Ben SBO रूल्स एप्लीकेबल नहीं है. रजिस्टर किस में मेंटेन होगा? Keep speaking in the chat box. Don't sleep. रजिस्टर किस में मेंटेन होगा? सिग्निफिकेंट बेनिफिशियल ओनर का Ben 3. ओके, इंस्पेक्शन, वर्किंग डे सारा पढ़ लिया. अब एक एक करके इसको पॉइंट्स को बनाते हैं. एप्लीकेशन टू द ट्राइब्यूनल. Children, I don't want to leave a single line from the study material. That's why I'm covering, because if I'll cover shortly, then you will come up with the doubts in this topic. So if you have failed to give the company, where that person fails to give the company information which is required, so company has not received any information, or the information which is given is not satisfactory, then notice will be given in pen 4. We also have this reference of pen 4 ahead. Let me show you where. This definition we have done. Yeah. So in notice, time period in pen 4 will be given. Okay. Company will apply. See, the company shall apply to the tribunal within 15 days. So the first step is company is going to file a case with the tribunal in 15 days time period, directing that the shares in question shall be given certain restrictions. So there is an SPO. He fails to give information. Company will send Ben 4, time given in notice. Within how many days? Within 15 days from notice time period, company is going to tribunal for putting restrictions or suspension, restrictions on transfer or suspension for such share. आप समझ आ गया? क्लियर हो गया सबको? Company will send Ben 4, time period will be given. You have to revert the time period. 15 days from the time period has passed. Now company is going to the tribunal for putting a restriction or suspension on such shares. What kind of suspension will be put up? Either he will restrict the transfer, he will not give him the dividend, restrict the voting rights, or any other restriction. Clear ho gaya sabko? Point number 2. When such application is made, what will be given to the SBO? A reasonable opportunity of being heard, making such order restricting the rights attached within a period of 60 days of receipt of application. So you will get a reasonable opportunity of being heard within a period of 60 days. Tribunal will ask. Reasonable opportunity of being heard का meaning होता है कि कोर्ट आपको बोलेगा कि आपने, if you want to say something, you have to come and okay, if you have missed writing, it's a live YouTube stream recording. You can go on the back and write it, because so much of syllabus, children, I can't wait. Sorry बेटा, अगर किसी का नहीं लिखा गया तो आप recording में से देखकर लिख लेना, okay? But it's important that you write it, then only you'll understand. Okay. So within 60 days time period, opportunity of being heard will given. That means now Mr. A SBO has time. He can come and tell him that I was busy at some work, or there was any of the reasons that I could not give my declaration. Whatever he wants to say, he will be given 60 days. Point number 3. Company or the person aggrieved by the order of tribunal will again make application to the tribunal. For now, he has passed, within 60 days has passed, tribunal has passed his order for all these restrictions. Mr. A is very disturbed. He will again, or the company is not happy, he will again make an application to the tribunal for at least relaxing or lifting the restrictions which have been given to him within a period of 1 year of such order. So let's assume tribunal gave his order on 1st January 2023. So now this person till 1st January 2024, he has the time to file an application saying that please give me relaxation or lift the restrictions that you have placed under 90 subsection A. But if till 1st January 2024, you did not file any application, no order was received, then such shares will be transferred to Investor Education Protection Fund Authority. That is point number 4. So how do we summarize it? Ben 4, notice, time period, within 15 days, first time period, go to tribunal. Tribunal's order, within how many days, children? Within 60 days. Objection against tribunal's order. Within how many days, children? Within 1 year. No objection. Shares get transferred to IEPF fund. IEPF fund. Very good, very good, very good. Anushka, Soumya, Mamidi Siti, Vemery, excellent answers. Those who are responding along with understanding, very good. Priya, Ishan, Priyanka, all of you. Let me see the students on the portal also. So I told you a lot of information for today's class because we have started a lengthy chapter, but धीरे धीरे लर्न हो जाएगा. शोभा कुमारी कह रही है हिंदी में भी एक्सप्लेन करो मैम. शोभा कुमारी क्या नहीं समझ आया बेटा? आई विल एक्सप्लेन इन हिंदी. हीरा हुसैन, ओके. रश्मि, EGM books and papers. So Rashmi Kumari, EGM is the topic we'll be covering in the next class. Okay, Mr. Panchal, we can see your queries. Anything you have not understood, students on the portal, you can also ask. All right. Clear? I'm deleting it now. So declaration has to be given by SBO. We have already done this points. Ben 1, Ben 2, Ben 3 क्या है? Register है for maintaining. Ben 4 is for the application to the tribunal. All these Ben points are clear now. SBO rules are not applicable. This you will learn. Now let's come to the penalty. अब easy लगने लग गया? If any person fails to make a declaration, a penalty of 50,000 with a further penalty of 1,000 for each day, subject to maximum of 2 lakhs. If you will observe, so far, most of the cases had a maximum penalty of 2 lakhs. Okay? It's okay, not to worry, Soumya. Don't take tension. So many days, so many limits. करते जाओ बस धीरे धीरे. And the penalty for the reporting company. So the reporting company, 1 lakh rupees fine, maximum penalty 500 for each day, maximum of 5 lakhs. So you will see maximum of 2 lakh, 5 lakh, repetitively similar kind of penalties are coming. Again, exemption to government company, section 89 में भी exemption the government company को, SBO में भी exemption है government company को. Any person willfully giving false, incorrect information or suppressing material, fact or information, then children, what becomes applicable? They have written something 447. Do you know what is 447? Section 447, penalty for fraud. Yes, it's a penalty for fraud. In chapter prospectus, we have done it. Last page. Learn it and remember. Clear? SBO is clear to everyone. We will be doing certain questions also, so don't worry. And also, I will be showing you different forms. Let us complete section 91 from here first. We see section 91. Section 91 is also very, very small section. Let's take it up from here only. Section 91 deals with the respective register, how the time limits for which these registers have to be closed. Okay, within what time this registers have to be closed. This is very, very simple section. It says a company may close its register of members or debenture holders for an aggregate period of 45 days, but not exceeding 30 days at any one time. Now, any register of members, in which form do we have register of members, children? Please tell me. वापस आ जाते हैं MGT forms में. MGT1. In which form I have debenture holders register? MGT2. In which form I have foreign registers? MGT3. इन रजिस्टर्स को क्लोज कैसे करना है, क्लोजर का क्या प्रोसीजर है, वो ये बता. A company may close its register of members or debenture holders or any securities maximum for a period of 45 days. You can close in each year. 45 days के लिए आप पूरे साल में इसको क्लोज कर सकते हो. जैसे कुछ दिन 10 दिन कर दिया, 22 days क्लोज कर दिया, फिर कितने रह गए, 10 and 22 अगर हो गए तो 32. 45 minus 32 जल्दी से 13. So now I can only close it for 13 days. So maximum in an year you can close it for a period of 45 days, not more than 45 days. But at any stretch you can exclude, you cannot close it for more than 30 days at any one time. So let's take a very interesting example. There was a company ABC Limited. It has maintained its MGT1 and Delhi office. It wants to close its register. It closes its register. It started making the entry and closes its register on 1st May 2023. And then opens it back on 1st December 2023. Is it allowed? How many days you have crossed? 5-6 months you have taken. This is not allowed. So you can close it maximum for 45 days in a year, but it shall not exceed 30 days. So you can keep it closed till 30th May, again start opening, and for rest 15 days, anytime you can close it again. Okay, I have a very interesting question for you on this also. Respective register of members, debenture holders may be closed by giving 7 days notice for listed companies or any other companies to get the securities listed. So what is the time period? So if I'm going to close my register of members, I will have to give a notice to the security holders within 7 days. How will I give the notice? I will give advertisements in 2 newspapers, one in English and one in vernacular newspaper, that I am going to close the register. So wherever the company is closing the register, at least 7 days previous notice has to be given. A newspaper advertisement in vernacular, one in English language, circulating at a place where the registered office of the company is there. And also he will publish the notice on the website. Private company will be exempted from issuing for the notice, provided it issues 7 days notice prior to the closure of register. Now again, penalty. If you contravene section 91, means you are closing without giving the notice or after giving a shorter notice, or you're exceeding the period in excess of the limits, that is more than 45 days or 30 days at any stretch, 5,000 minimum penalty, maximum 1 lakh. Section 88 में मैंने कहा था शुरू में 3 फॉर्म्स के नाम लिख लेना, पेनल्टी लिख लेना. सेक्शन 89 में फॉर्म्स लिख लेना, पेनल्टी लिख लेना. सेक्शन 90 में फॉर्म्स लिख लेना, बेन 1 2 3 4, 4 ही तो है, पेनल्टी लिख लेना. सेक्शन 91 में कोई फॉर्म नहीं है. 7 days, 45 days, 30 days, 3 days है, वो लिख लेना एंड पेनल्टी लिख लेना. Is that clear to all my students? Now let me show you certain forms as well as some MCQs before we jump to annual return topic. Six, 9. So we just did a point related to section 91. Yes, Ishan, this is applicable to both. The advertisement has to be given for any register that you're closing. Because why they have not mentioned over here, when you will refer to section 88 back again in rule 7, where we did foreign register, they have already told you that the closure of foreign register will be the same as you close your register for the principal register. So the same provisions have to be followed for the foreign register. Amber Limited is a manufacturer of glassware. Its paid up share capital is divided into, there is an error. How many shares? 2 lakh shares of rupees 100. Company is maintaining the register of members and now it want to close its register of members for declaring dividend. It may do so by giving minimum days notice. So minimum days notice will be 15 days, 10 days, 7 days, or the registers cannot be closed. Who is going to give me? Nidhi is the first one to give the correct answer. Priyanka, Rajveer, Soumya, oh my God. In sabko to aata hai. Shobha, Kumari, write the answer. Sumesh Singh, all of you. 7 days. Anushka, Divya, Soumya, लॉक कर लिया जाए. कुछ 45 days तो नहीं था चिल्ड्रन, कहीं गलत तो नहीं क्वेश्चन. मिनिमम टाइम पीरियड कुछ 45 days या 30 days तो नहीं था. वो क्या था वो भी बता दो प्लीज मुझे. 30 days. It cannot be closed for more than 30 days at one time. So A is the correct answer. A company may close its register, but not 45 days in a year. It should not be 30 days at one time, and previous notice has to be given at least 7 days. Okay, you can write down this summary in front of section 91 so that you don't forget. It's an important section. Take 2 minutes, write down the summary of section 91. All right. Written, everyone. Okay, Ben 1 was to be filed within how many days? Ben 1 has been filed within how many days? Very good, Ishan, Miss P. After that, Ben 3, what is the meaning of Ben 3? What is the meaning of Ben 3? Register of beneficial owners. Excellent. Let me open forms also to show you certain. Let us see form Ben 1. Declaration by the beneficial owner who holds or acquires beneficial owner with respect to section 90 and rule 3. So this is your Ben 1 form. This is how it looks like. So to name of the company, so he is filing his declaration to the company. That is why we did all the procedure of Ben 4 now, that if you don't inform, then action will be taken and you will be filing an application to the tribunal. So he will tell to companies, registered office address, these are the particulars of the shares in which SBO is holding. Class of the shares, how many percentage of shares. Why it is important to tell percentage of shares? Because more than 10% shareholding, then only I become SBO. In what distinctive number, certificate, folio number, all these details have to be given. What is his occupation, nationality, whether he's an Indian, outsider, SIN number, passport details are also to be given for the date of. This is your declaration. In pursuance of section 90, I hereby declare that I have acquired significant beneficial interest in your company and the shares are registered in mine. Particulars of the registered owner. This is the registered owner. Registered owner की भी डिटेल्स देनी पड़ेगी आपको, क्योंकि आपको मैंने सेक्शन 89 में बताया है कि रजिस्टर्ड ओनर ने तो आपको बेनिफिशियल ओनर बनाया है. And a significant beneficial owner, how do you become more than 10%? डिटेल्स ऑफ द सिग्निफिकेंट बेनिफिशियल ओनर, डेट ऑफ क्रिएशन ऑफ सिग्निफिकेंट, कब कब से बने हो, मोड ऑफ एक्विजिशन, अलॉटमेंट से बन गए, ट्रांसफर से बने या कैसे, नेचर क्या है, रीजंस फॉर नॉट रजिस्टरिंग द शेयर्स इन माय नेम, व्हाई ही इज नॉट गिविंग इन हिज नेम, व्हाई ही इज हैविंग अ बेनिफिशियल, particulars of the person from whom the beneficial interest is acquired, his details, that means registered owner's details. Registered owner had to file the declaration in section 89. In which form? Can anyone tell me? Under section 89, the registered owner should have filed his declaration in which form? Let me see how well my students. Yes, Priyanka Pandey, he can be. MGT 4. Lock कर लिया जाए. Everybody, Rajveer, Almas. MGT 4 is correct option. Excellent. Very good. Even if you have cheated it and answered me, I'm proud of you at least because, when the first time we are doing the chapter, अगर इतना ही पता लग जाए ना आज की डेट में कहाँ पे क्या लिखा है, तो दैट इज MGT 5 लिख दिया प्रियंका ने, गलत. हाँ, फॉर बेनिफिशियल ओनर ठीक. राजवीर से मैम नॉट चीटेड. सो इफ यू हैव नॉट चीटेड एंड रिप्लाइड देन आई शुड गिव माई सेल्फ अपलॉड्स बिकॉज पहली बार में तो मुझे भी नहीं लर्न हुआ था व्हेन आई वाज अ स्टूडेंट. सो दैट्स ग्रेट. गुड. प्रियंका सेड मैम याद हो गए. ग्रेट. Very nice. Thank you so much, students. I'm so proud of you. And if you keep on doing it repetitively, you're going to rock the show, I'm telling you. It's very easy. कुछ नहीं है लॉ, बस पढ़ना है बार 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 करने से लर्न हो जाता है, एंड समझ के करने से इजी लगता है. Very happy. Everybody has given the correct answer. So this is, we have seen Ben 1. Let me see if there is any other form. Okay, let me show you MGT 1, 2, and 3 also. All right, MGT 1 form. Just opening. To be maintained separately for each class of shares, MGT1 form is with respect to Section 88 of the Companies Act, name of the company, registered office, all the details have to be given. Wait, Nidhi, let me just complete this, then we'll talk. To be maintained separately, so this MGT1 is showing the details of the register of members, all these details, name कौन है, joint holders कौन है. यहाँ पे जो joint holders है, यहाँ पे seniority के base पे आपका नाम आ जाएगा. Whosoever name is appearing first will be considered as the senior person. Mother, father, spouse names, mother, father, name of guardian. If you're a minor, then name of guardian, and date of birth of minor is also to be given. On which date you become the member. If you are following Section 89, have you given the declaration? Name and address of beneficial owner. Who is the beneficial owner? Address of nominee. All these details have to be given. Date of cessation of membership. पढ़ा था हमने. Cessation of membership भी देना. Yes, Priyanka, absolutely correct. But come here in MGT now. Leave Ben forms. Details of shareholding, when allotment of shares happened, certificate number, number of shares, distinctive number, all these points. Okay. Form MGT2 किसके लिए? Debenture holders and other security holders. It is also same pattern. The only holding is debentures. Here you're giving details of debentures and other security. There you're giving details of shares, details of shareholding. Okay. It's all the same. Clear, everyone? There is MGT3 also. What is MGT3? Notice of change or situation, any changing in the discontinuance where the foreign register shall be kept. So foreign register rules, your SIN number, all these address, name, email ID, notice where the situation where the foreign register is kept, changes if any, discontinuance. Foreign register also deals with the register of members and register of debenture owners. So my question to the class is, does the foreign register can also be closed? What provision, within how many days the previous notice has to be given for closure of foreign register? And GLN is your global location number. Those who are asking, ma'am, what is GLN? SIN number is your corporate identification number and that is your global location number. That is the detail. निधि GLN number होता है जो आपको डिटेल्स देनी है अपना उसका आइडेंटिफिकेशन के लिए नंबर्स होते हैं. 7 days is the correct answer. Miss P, wonderful. Mohammed Fareen, why did you give 15 days? That is 15 days. Every entry has to be recorded in the principal register also. Jandra, 7 days is the correct answer. Almas, 7 days is the correct answer. Yes, Priyanka, 15 days is for the copy of the entry. That is good. Ritika, correct, 7 days. Khushi, 7 days. Nidhi, 7 days. Soumya, good. All right. All right. Clear हो गया सबको? We have seen 3 forms, MGT 1, 2 and 3. Sabha Shakil, absolutely correct. Then we have seen Ben 1 also. Now we are going to move to a very interesting topic, that is annual return filing. I hope no doubts from the module. I'll give you in between 2 minutes to just scroll through the pages of study material. If you have any doubts, you can ask. But first we will do annual return. What is the meaning of annual return? Annual return नाम से ही पता लग रहा है once in an year. Annual return is telling you once every year you have to file a annual return. So every company needs to prepare a return or whatever the business company has been doing, they have to file a return with the ROC. They have to intimate what kind of business activities they have been carrying, where is their registered office, the principal business activities that they're doing, what are they holding subsidiary companies, this information, what are the shareholding patterns, how they're holding the shares and debentures. It's indebtedness, कितना उधार लिया हुआ है, कितना पैसा उधार पे दिया है. Whosoever are the members, debenture holders since the close of financial year. Whosoever are the promoters, directors, KMPs, very important information. So important information about seniors, important information about the companies, meetings of the members, how you're holding the meetings of the members. So we will be doing in the further chapter, AGM, EGM, what kind of meetings, board meetings are you holding? What is the remuneration of these directors? तो डायरेक्टर से रिलेटेड 2 पॉइंट हो गए. प्रमोटर डायरेक्टर्स केएमपीस कौन कौन है, कितनी रेम्यूनरेशन, कितनी सैलरी दे रहे हैं हम डायरेक्टर्स एंड केएमपीस, पेनल्टी कितनी है डायरेक्टर्स एंड ऑफिसर्स की. ये 3 पॉइंट्स हमारे अलग से हो गए. प्रमोटर्स, डायरेक्टर्स, केएमपी, रेम्यूनरेशन एंड पेनल्टी और पनिशमेंट. फिर हमारे शुरू वाले इजी पॉइंट्स हैं. रजिस्टर्ड ऑफिस, प्रिंसिपल बिजनेस एक्टिविटीज, शेयर्स डिबेंचर्स कौन से हैं, इंडेप्टेडनेस कौन सी है एंड कौन कौन से मेंबर्स एंड डिबेंचर होल्डर्स हमारी कंपनी में काम करते हैं. फिर हमारा यूनिक पॉइंट है रिलेटेड टू मीटिंग्स ऑफ द मेंबर्स. So as I am using different highlighters, this is the highlighters you can use in your registers and study material to make the learning short and crisp for yourself. For meetings, we can also include certification of compliances and disclosures, what all are required. Details of shares held on behalf of foreign institutional investors. So if they're foreign institutional investors, how many shares are being held by them? And such other matters as may be prescribed. तो भी law बोलेगा, SEBI बोलेगा, ROC बोलेगा, वो सब भी इंक्लूड कर देंगे. तो भी मोटा मोटा क्या है, रजिस्टर्ड ऑफिस, प्रिंसिपल बिजनेस एक्टिविटीज, होल्डिंग सब्सिडरी का रिलेशनशिप, हाउ मेनी शेयर्स एंड अदर सिक्योरिटीज, व्हाट इज योर शेयर होल्डिंग पैटर्न, मींस व्हाट काइंड ऑफ पैटर्न यू आर फॉलोइंग, and members, debenture holders, shareholders, other security holders. These first 4 points are crystal clear, I think. The next 3 points are related to promoter, director, key managerial personnel. कौन-कौन है, मतलब who are my promoters, directors and key managerial personnel, उनकी remuneration, salary कितनी है, punishment and penalty क्या impose होती है, खत्म. फिर meetings का separate point है and certification of compliance हुआ है कि नहीं. What is the meaning of certification of compliance? Is the company following all the accounting standards, auditing standards, whatever we have studied in the first chapter? All right. So all these points and other shares held by foreign institutional investors or any other. So all these are part of your annual return. Every company in the prescribed form containing all the particulars as this should on the close of the financial year. So on the last day of the financial year, whatever they are standing, these details have to be given of the annual return. Central government may prescribe abridged form of annual return for one person or other class of companies as may be prescribed. So the form of annual return is MGT 7, but for OPC and small companies, the form is MGT 7A. I told you I'll be taking your test today. So quickly tell me, who is OPC? What is OPC? OPC क्या होता है भाई? मैम, it is 1% company. काश पेपर में ये लाइन लिखने से मुझे 5 out of 5 marks मिल जाते. Having 1% as a member. Very nice, Ishan, Soumya. Can anyone raise their hands and tell me, yes, it's a private company with 1% in mass? Something you have given a good hidden point. Sole member, somebody is writing about nominee. Is there? Any other point you remember? Nomination clause is good. Miss P, Kushi Mehra, Mamidi Sethi, very good. What else you remember about OPC? Let me check your knowledge. Change in the nominee's name. Okay, Ishan, nice. So, ऐसी company to OPC है, 1% company, having a very good Indian citizen point. You're remembering, Rajveer, nice. Harshita says cash flow statement is not mandatory. If somebody is asking about OPC, you should first give all those 6-7 points of details of OPC. Okay? All right, good. At least you did some brainstorming. And what is small company? अब तो provisions फटाफट से बता दो मुझे. Small company कौन सी होती है? Paid up share capital and turnover की कुछ limits थी ना? हमने पढ़ी थी chapter 1 में. Small company. ये सब जो टाइम लग रहा है बुक खुलने में लग रहा है. ओके मैम, सेक्शन 2 क्लॉज 85, वेरी गुड ट्रैक का. वेरी गुड. व्हाट वर द लिमिट्स? 4 crore and 40 crore. मैम बट किसमें था? 40 lakhs चंद्रा. ओ माय, अब तो स्टडी में भी क्लियरली लिखा हुआ है 4 crore and 40 crore. बाकी पढ़ने की भी जरूरत नहीं. Very nice, very nice. Absolutely, the paid up share capital and turnover limits are given. If the company is falling within that limits, it is known as work. Very nice. Good. So all these companies, OPC and small companies, they will be filing their annual return in MGT 7. Sneha, Priyanka Pandey, Anushka, all of you have given the correct answer. Well done, children. So now let's come back to the chapter of MGT. Now, second point is clear. Central government has prescribed a bridged form for annual return. I will be showing you MGT 7 and MGT 7A also. Who is going to sign the annual return? Very important and interesting MCQ. Annual return shall be signed by the director of the company and company secretary. देखो भाई, Companies Act पढ़ रहे हैं तो CS का रोल बड़ा ज्यादा जरूरी हो जाता है. CA का भी होता है, but CS का मेजर होता है company secretary का. company. So director and CS sign them. And if the company is not having any CS, so you will go to any CS in practice. Like you are becoming chartered accountants tomorrow, so chartered accountants are into practice. So if your company is not having any CA, they will come to you who are in practice. Similarly, if my company is not having any, ABC Limited was a company, they only have directors, they don't have any CS. So they will have to go outside to any CS who is in doing this work of practice. But that CS should be in practice. He should be having the membership number of practice. Certificate of practice hona chahiye. All right. Why? Because the CS knows all the loopholes and procedures about the Companies Act and rules have been followed. So he will have to check and verify. Then only he can sign. OPC and small companies shall be signed by CS or where there is no CS by the director of the company. उसकी केस में आपको बाहर जाने की जरूरत नहीं. So what is the provision? How is the annual return to be signed? Normal cases, director or CS. If no CS, we go to CS in practice. For OPC and small companies, वो भी लिख लो रिटर्न कौन से फॉर्म में जाती है. MGT 7A. एंड साइन कौन करेगा? CS. नहीं है तो डायरेक्टर. Am I right? Please see. Khushi, type it. What you want to ask? MGT 7. All right. Annual return has to be filed by listed company. So every listed company has to file an annual return. Or a company having a paid up share capital of more than 10 crores. or more or turnover of 50 crores or more shall be certified by CS in practicing that the annual return discloses the facts correctly and adequately, and the company has complied with all the provisions of the Companies Act. This has to be given in form number MGT 8. MGT 7 is समझ आ गया, एनुअल रिटर्न के कंटेंट समझ आ गए, फाइलिंग ऑफ एनुअल रिटर्न समझ आ गया. All right. Priyanka, wait, we will be going to the study material also. Don't worry. Okay. Now we are doing another point. अगर कोई listed company है जिसकी paid up share capital 10 crore or more than 10 crore है और a turnover is 50 crore or more, then it has to file the annual return which will be certified by CS in practice. और CS in practice क्या file करेगा? MGT 8 देगा. And he will say that all the facts are correct and adequately complied. Means company secretary who is in practice work will have to see that the whole of the annual return you have complied with the financial informations, all the accounting policies, auditing policies that you have followed are correct, all the facts that you have given are correct, are not wrong, and they're adequate. Adequate means whatever financial position the company is showing and in compared to the accounting policies that they have applied is correct. Say for example, there is a company, they had to follow the depreciation on straight line method. But when the CS checked the annual returns and opened up the financial position, they have applied WDV method. So there is a contravention. He cannot sign this MGT8 form. Then that CS cannot say that the facts have been disclosed correctly. तो उसको each and every चीज चेक करनी है. कौन सी कंपनी का? जो लिस्टेड कंपनी है जिसका पेड अप शेयर कैपिटल मोर देन 10 करोड़ है और टर्नओवर मोर देन 50 करोड़ है, उनको सर्टिफिकेट लेना है CS एंड प्रैक्टिस से that all the facts have been disclosed correctly, and this certificate has to be given in form number MGT8. Also, the company will place the annual return on the website and the link will be given in the board's report. Every company shall file with the registrar within 60 days from the date on which the annual return has to be filed by what date? Within 60 days of the AGM, you will have to file this annual return. And if no AGM has been held, then with 60 days from the date, it was supposed to be held along with the reason that why AGM was not held. So now there are specific dates for holding annual general meeting. जब कंपनी की एनुअल जनरल मीटिंग हो जाती है उसके 60 डेज में हम एनुअल रिटर्न फाइल करते हैं. अगर एनुअल जनरल मीटिंग सपोज 30 सितंबर को होनी थी बट नहीं हुई तो आपने 60 डेज फ्रॉम 30 सितंबर, हाउ मेनी, व्हाट इज द डेट? इफ 30 सितंबर वाज सपोज्ड टू बी माय एनुअल जनरल मीटिंग, नाउ आई हैव टू फाइल द एनुअल रिटर्न विद इन हाउ मेनी डेज? अक्टूबर, नवंबर, 29th या 30th नवंबर निकल कर आ रहा है. 60 days. Very good. 29 November. Excellent. So then, and I also have to give the reasons why AGM was not. Now, if the company fails to file its annual return before the expiry of the time period, then a penalty. Now, this annual return की penalty थोड़ी ज़्यादा important हो जाती है because ये important topic. वो भी important है, important unimportant कुछ नहीं होता है इसमें, सब important है. But ये थोड़ी penalty you should learn. This one you should learn. The other ones we have already written. We are still writing on the first page. Penalty of 10,000 in case of the continuing default, 100, maximum 2 lakh, 50,000 for the officer in default. And the CS in practice, जिसने आपको certificate दिया था, if that CS in practice certifies the annual return, otherwise then according to 92 section, they shall be liable for 2 lakh rupees penalty. I just told you that CS in practice will be giving you a review for listed company, and if they have done a contravention, he has not correctly disclosed the facts, has not checked the compliance work, 2 lakh rupees penalty for that CS in practice. So what is the time limit for which the annual return has to be filed with the company? What is the time limit for filing the annual return with ROC? 60 days of what? 60 days of annual general meeting. If no annual general meeting held, then within 60 days from the date when it should have been held. So let's take a small 2 minutes break. I give you 2 minutes. Just go through the points of annual return and then we will proceed ahead. Okay? Section 92, 93, 94 भी हम complete करेंगे आज. Very good. Almas, Soumya, Vimri, Priyanka, Harshda, Memedi Sethi. Excellent. 60 days of MPH. Just so we're taking 2 minutes break here. Second, students. Hello. hope you have gone through the provisions and मीनिंग ऑफ कॉन्ट्रवेंशन निधि मीनिंग ऑफ कॉन्ट्रवेंशन होता है कि अगर हम कॉन्ट्रवेन करें कॉन्ट्रोडिक्ट करें मींस कंपनीज एक्ट में कुछ लिखा है और आपने वो फॉलो नहीं करा तो आपके ऊपर पेनल्टी चार्ज हो जाए ओके कॉन्ट्रवेंशन का मतलब होता है जैसे कि ट्रैफिक रूल्स में क्या लिखा हुआ है कि हम रेड लाइट नहीं जंप कर सकते बट अगर निधि ने रेड लाइट जंप कर दी तो हम क्या कहते हैं आपका चालान होगा दैट मीन्स आपने कॉन्ट्रवेंशन करे किसी लॉ के अगेंस्ट आप All right, let's have a quick recap of annual return from the module. Provisions with regard to annual return are given under section 92. Every company has to file MGT 7 except OPC and small company. Why? Because OPC and small company has to file MGT 7A. So annual return is so beautifully see module has given in such a colorful way. Annual return MGT 7 and 7A for OPC and small company. Signing कौन बताएगा मुझे? Annual return की signing if it is MGT 7 who is going to sign director or CS and if the company is not having CS then the CS in practice for OPC it is director CS and the director of the company for this is where the certification is required children we did this certification in MGT 8 Where is MGT 8 required? If it is a listed company having a paid-up share capital of more than 10 crores or turnover more than 50 crores, then a certificate of CS in practice in MGT 8 is required to be given that all the compliance is adequately done. And if the CS gives a practice and it has contravened, then what was the penalty? 2 lakh rupees was the penalty for this CS in practice. अब यहाँ पे जो penalty किसी specific person के लिए है ना कोई छोटी penalty है तो वो learn कर लिया करो साथ के साथ तो यहाँ पे MGT 8 and 2 lakhs penalty साथ ही दिखा You have to put this on website and the link of the website will be given in the board's report. Filing of annual return with ROC has to be done within how many days, my children? 60 days of AGM. If no AGM has been held, then 60 days from the date of penalty for contravention. You have to simply learn whatever penalty is given. हो गया annual return? फटाफट से देखिए ये सारे कंटेंट्स है जो हमने करे हैं 4 में डिवाइड करके यस प्रियंका वेयर वर यू सेइंग व्हाट वाज द ट्रबल इन दैट यस promoters key manager penalty and all the certification of compliance everything abridged form OPC MGT 7A we have done signing we have done annual return has to be signed by CS or if there is no CS then by director we just did this point certification 10 crore 5 crore so it is or only beta why were you saying there is an and this is or only this point okay MGT 8 now let me see if there are any questions yes illustration 3 Big Fox Entertainment Limited calls its AGM beta wo theek hai na director and CS Priyanka Pandey please look here It's clearly given that it has to be signed by a director and company secretary, but if there is no company secretary, then by CS and practice. तो MGT 7 में compulsory है दोनों का sign. But यहाँ पे CS कर सकता है, अगर CS नहीं है तो director कर सकता है, okay? Big Fox Entertainment is calling its annual general meeting on 30th September. If annual general meeting is on 30th September, तो annual return कब तक file होनी चाहिए students? Everybody. Within 60 days. All right, great. Year ending 31st March for the approval of shareholders and conducting other required business. Due to the want of quorum, now you haven't done quorum with me yet, but quorum means the minimum number of members who shall be present for the meetings. So due to the want of quorum, meeting could not take place. Means there was minimum number, say for example, there was 5 numbers to be personally present, but there were only 4. So the meeting stands adjourned, means meeting could not take place and it was cancelled. Company did not file the annual return with ROC. Company ने सोचा AGM तो हुई नहीं, तो चलो annual return भी नहीं file करते. But हमने क्या पढ़ा हुआ है? Either the 60 days from the date of AGM or the 60 days from the date when AGM was supposed to be held. So the directors are of the view AGM did not take place, so period of 60 days for filing annual return is not applicable. So there is no contravention of section 92. Have they done the contravention of 92? Yes, ma'am or no, ma'am? ये बताओ जो chat box में बैठे. Wow, Priyanka, Soumya, Harshada, excellent. Miss P, everybody, yes, ma'am, they have done contravention. Anushka, very nice, very nice. Almas, excellent. Yes, the contention is incorrect because there is no contravention means yes, they have done a contravention. It was to be filed within 60 days from AGM. Or if no AGM has to be held 60 days on which it was supposed to be held, along with the reasons. They should have given that this was the reason that the quorum was not there. That's why the AGM is not. So AGM should have been held on 30th September, but it did not take place. The company was required to file within the specific. See, they have not given you the date. So within 60 days also, if you write, then also fine. Company has contravened and penalty will become applicable to them. Is that clear? Section 93 has been omitted under the Companies Act. We come to Section 94. Section 94 simply tells you that what is the place of keeping the registers. The place of keeping the registers. The registers have to be kept at the RO of the company, we just did. If you want to keep it outside the RO, special resolution in general meeting is required. And if you're keeping outside another city and village, then you have to see at least 1/10 of the members should be residing in that. Registers, indexes, except those which are closed, shall be kept open for business hours inspection. Reasonable time of not less than 2 hours. हम ये चीजें पढ़ चुके हैं अभी अब Section 88 में भी. Section 94, I told you, specifically talks about the registers, how they have to be kept and how they have to be inspected. Indexation is required in every register, or when is the index required, children? If the number of members are more than or equal to 50. Sabha Shakil, which point you have not understand? All right, for taking the extracts, following particulars of the register in respect of members shall not be made available for inspection. Address or register address, email ID, unique identification number and PAN number. Okay, so these shall not be made available for inspection, or you cannot take out the extracts of the registers and or registered address of the office and PAN numbers. Any such member or debenture holder or security holder or beneficial owner हमें कहाँ पढ़े? Section 89 में, significant beneficial owner 90 में था, debenture holders and other security holders 88 में था. They can take extracts from registers or returns or indexes without any fees, but any other copy, any other person wants to take, they will have to pay the fees, which shall not be exceeding ₹10 for each page. And these copies have to be supplied within 7 days from the date of fees. So you can take the extracts without, members will not be charged any fees, any other members, any other persons. Within 7 days, the information has to be given to them and fees will be charged. The period for which the registers are to be kept are, now this is very, very important. Examiner question पूछता है इस पे, कितने टाइम पीरियड के लिए रजिस्टर्स हमें प्रिजर्व करके रखने हैं. Again, this topic somewhere you have read with me in share capital and debentures also. And also in this registration of charges में हमने last topic जो पढ़ा था, register of members under 88 along with the index shall be reserved permanently. And किसकी custody में रखने हैं? Under the custody of company secretary or any other person who has been authorized. So I told you the major role of Companies Act is to be taken care by CS. So CS का sign होना जरूरी है और उसी की custody में आपके register of members maintain. So if I ask you equity shareholders का register permanently maintain होगा, yes or no? Very good. Because register of members means equity and preference shareholders दोनों का shall be preserved for permanently and under the custody of director रखना है या CS? Under the custody of CS. But register of debenture holders or other any security holders shall be preserved for 8 years from the date of redemption as the case may be, and they will be kept in the custody of CS or any other person. So for debenture holders, MGT2 वाला जो register है और other security holders, from the date of redemption 8 years के लिए, जब redeem हो गए उसके बाद 8 साल के लिए preserve. सिमिलरली एनुअल रिटर्न जब फाइल हो गई आरओसी के साथ 8 years फ्रॉम द डेट ऑफ फाइलिंग विद आरओसी. परमानेंटली नहीं चाहिए हमें कंपनी की एनुअल रिटर्न, ना ही हमें डिवेंचर्स की इन्फॉर्मेशन परमानेंटली चाहिए, बट इक्विटी शेयर होल्डर्स, प्रेफरेंस शेयर होल्डर्स का सारा जो डेटा मेंटेन्ड है shall be preserved permanently under the custody of company secretary. So let's have a quick recap. Register of members preserved permanently. Register of debenture holders or other security holders. 8 years from redemption. And children, please tell me, annual return has to be preserved for how long? 8 years from date of filing. नेक्स्ट क्लास में एमसीक्यूज पूछूंगी, इनमें से तो अच्छे से पढ़कर आना, लर्न करके आना सभी. फॉरेन रजिस्टर्स आल्सो टू बी प्रिजर्व परमानेंटली, बिकॉज आई टोल्ड यू फॉरेन रजिस्टर तो होते ही प्रिंसिपल रजिस्टर्स की तरह ट्रीट है, अनलेस इट इज डिसकंटिन्यूड एंड ट्रांसफर टू द प्रिंसिपल रजिस्टर. Foreign registers of debenture holders shall be preserved for 8 years and they shall be kept in the custody of company secretary. So same. If inspection of making extract is refused, then every officer, if you say that you went to inspect the registers during business hours and at least for 2 hours they shall be open. If you ask them that I want to take certain extracts of the copies on the payment of fees and the officer refuses you, that within 7 days they had to provide, they have not given, then he will be charged with a penalty of 1,000 for each day. Maximum of 1 lakh rupees penalty charge होगी. अगर आपने information मांगी तो within 7 days they have to give you this information. Otherwise, there is a penalty of 1,000 per day. Maximum of 1 lakh can be charged. Central government can also direct the inspection of the documents and direct the extracts of the information required to be allowed to the person requiring. So CG can also intervene. If you don't, can also ask for the immediate inspection if any refusal is given by the company. Is that clear? And section 95, as promised, the last section of today's class, the register, index and copies of annual return shall be prima facie evidence that the matters directed or authorized under this act. So these registers serve as an evidence. सेक्शन 95 कुछ नहीं है, वो सिंपल ये कह रहा है कि जो भी आपने रजिस्टर्स मेंटेन करे हैं, एमजीटी 1, 2, 3, जो भी आपने फॉर्म्स मेंटेन करे हैं, बेनिफिशियल ओनर के रजिस्टर्स मेंटेन करे, ऑल दीज आर प्राइमा फेसी एविडेंस दैट द एक्ट हैज बीन कंप्लीटेड. Like the CSN practice was giving his certification that everything has been under compliance and all the adequate information has been given under MGT8. Similarly, this information tells you that these registers are a prima facie evidence. Prima facie का मतलब होता है जो देखकर apparently पता लगा. So they serve as a prima facie evidence. Is that clear? Yes, Harshada, it is specifically for the debenture holders and for other security holders. All right. So any doubts, children? Okay, Priyanka Pandey has written, ma'am, ab chapter difficult nahi lag raha. So well done. That's great. So MGT 1 to 7 hai yaad ho gaya. That's great. MGT 8 you have not written. MGT 8 also we have done, child. So in the next class, remind me, we have seen already 4 forms of MGT. We have seen few Ben forms also. In the next class, we will be seeing MGT 7, 7A and MGT 8. All right. So no doubts. Yes, Mr. M.A., you will get the notes. Don't worry. Okay. Thank you, Omkar. Thank you, everyone. I think ma'am is also here with us.
Hello,
Okay.
good evening.
Take up this later on. Yes. So good evening, ma'am. Welcome to the class.
So students, today was the first class for management and administration. So it's a big chapter. As per the study modules, if you see that it's like 90 to 100 pages approximately. And it covers section 89 to 122. So ma'am has, I was just seeing that ma'am has covered section 92 annual return also. And you have covered, ma'am, annual return in full?
Yes, ma'am.
Like
We just did
entity.
90.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So the major problem which the students face is with writing. So if you allow me, so I want the students to answer a question, or if they want, they can just take a screenshot of it. If somebody can write it right now, then that's much welcome. Otherwise, I'm just giving you a simple question and give me the answer. I want you, okay, so students want the answer right question right now. Take 5 minutes or 4 to 5 minutes and just give the answer not in terms of yes or no, that you all must be knowing. I want you to see your writing skills. I will take only by 8:40 we will close down the class. Okay? I will be just sharing my screen. आंसर ही दिखा दिया मैंने. So this is the question. I'm reading it for you. Some of the students, if they are having the problem, Bright Edge Solutions Limited, a listed public company, completed its financial year on 31st March 2024. The company has over 200 members and a paid-up share capital of rupees 12 crore. During a board meeting held on 10th May 2024, the board was advised about the timelines for filing the annual return in Form MGT7 for the for the year 31st March 2024. And you need to, they were saying that they have to get it certified by the company secretary. You need to commit. I want the answer. I just want to, instead of focusing just on that whether the answer is correct or not, right now I want you to focus on writing that how will you write the answer. Okay, so it's 8:34. Let's discuss it at around 8:37 once, and if all the students are ready, then we can discuss at that.
And ma'am,
It,
please ask them to answer to everyone so that I can also see what they're performing. They can
no.
select.
They will not perform like this. They have to speak up their answer.
Okay. That will be good.
Are you ready with the answer? I can see that many students have responded, but I want a student or two students who can read out their answer. Students, it's for you to answer. मुझे और हरलीन मैम हम दोनों सीए बन चुके हैं.
I think they're writing in the chat box. Students, would you like to raise your hands and explain? See, reference section and the answers that you're writing to us are correct, but ma'am wants to understand how will you explain your point in the exam. That is more important. So why don't you give yourself a chance? Ishan, Rajveer, why don't you raise your hands?
Ishan has raised his hand. Ishan, kindly answer.
I will begin with as per section 92, where any listed company which has a paid up share capital of 10 crores or more, or a turnover of 50 crores or more, need to get its annual return certified by a company secretary, and the company secretary shall give a declaration that that all the compliances as to Companies Act has been fulfilled, and will give a certificate, and company secretary will give a certificate in form MGT 8.
ग्रेट. अब इसका कंक्लूजन भी थोड़ा सा, मुझे आपका आंसर पूरा ठीक है, मुझे कंक्लूजन चाहिए छोटा सा. आपने दोनों बातें बोली, अब आंसर आपका कंप्लीट है क्योंकि आपने कंपनी सेक्रेटरी वाली बात भी बोल दी, आपने दूसरी बात ये भी बोल दी कि MGT 8 में करो. ठीक है. कमेंट था क्वेश्चन, बहुत अच्छे से आंसर किया. सिर्फ एक लाइन हम उसमें ऐड करके ना थोड़ा सा उसको और बेटर कर देंगे. हेंस दिस कंपनी, पेनल्टी से भी ज्यादा, हेंस दिस कंपनी, आई थिंक ब्राइट लिमिटेड या जो भी था उस बेचारे का नाम. सो ब्राइट लिमिटेड is required to get its annual return. What's the word? Certified by a
company secretary.
Correct. However, they have to do it in MGT
8
and not as contended and not MGT 7 as contended by the board. आपका पूरा आंसर ठीक था. इस लाइन को लिखने के बाद आपका कंक्लूजन और मतलब बिल्कुल क्लियर आपने उसको बता दिया कि बेचारे एग्जामिनर जो आपके पेपर चेकर्स होंगे उनको मेहनत नहीं करनी पड़ेगी. वेरी गुड ईशान, वेरी गुड. वन मोर स्टूडेंट, बहुत अच्छा लिखा है. एनी अदर स्टूडेंट?
Anybody else would like to try? Anushka, Almas, Rajveer, Priyanka, Soumya. Take a chance.
एंड अब मैं आप लोगों की ना डेली, अच्छा हाँ मिस पी आप बोलो बेटा, बोलो.
Miss P. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Actually, I wrote. I'll just read out my answer, ma'am. I wrote section 94, ma'am. Actually, it's section 92.
परफेक्टली फाइन. इस पे आई विल जस्ट गिव अ कमेंट टू ऑल द स्टूडेंट्स. अगर आपको सेक्शन याद नहीं है तो डोंट नेवर एवर कोट अ रॉन्ग सेक्शन, मत लिखो. ठीक है. विद ड्यू रेस्पेक्ट बेटा, अच्छा है कि आपको एटलीस्ट ये तो याद था कि 90s की लाइन में है वो बेचारा. दैट्स रियली गुड. बट एग्जाम में अभी प्रैक्टिस के लिए बिल्कुल अच्छा किया कि आपने लिखा है, लेकिन एग्जाम में जब लिखोगे अगर श्योर नहीं हो तो सारे बच्चे सुन लें, बिल्कुल नहीं लिखेंगे. श्योर होंगे तभी लिखेंगे. हाँ जी बेटा बोलो.
Told them that you simply have to write as per the provisions of Companies Act.
और अगर याद है तो इट्स मोर देन गुड. बोलो बेटा.
Yes, ma'am. According to section 92 of the Companies Act 2013, every company has to file its annual returns within 60 days from the date when AGM is held, or where no AGM has been held, then within 60 days from the date on which AGM should have been held. Every company shall file its annual returns in form number MGT 7, and in case of OPC and small company, the returns shall be filed in form MGT 7A. Moreover, every listed company shall get its returns authenticated under the sign of a company secretary or a person authorized by the board for the purpose. Here, since it is a limited company, it must be signed by the CS.
Okay, but आपने MGT
8 नहीं
7 के लिए कुछ नहीं लिखा. एंड अगर आप एक्चुअली में एग्जाम में इतना प्रोफेशनल आंसर लिख पाओगे बेटा तो इट्स मोर देन गुड. अदरवाइज आप अपनी लैंग्वेज में आंसर लिख सकते हो. ठीक है.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, Miss P, I will be just messaging you something. Just take a note of it. Very good, Miss P.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so thank you, students. All of the students can leave. I will just type a short message for Miss P. It will take time to type that message. Thank you, हरलीन मैम. मेरी साइड से क्लास डन है. मुझे बालक को
All right. All right. Thank you, students. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much and for enlightening the class more. And this is a good thing that ma'am comes and take your test so that I can also judge how well you have been studying. So well done, students. And please revise whatever we have done in today's class. On 7th, again, I'll be going to take a small test and a quick revision of all the provisions that we have done. See you all on day after tomorrow. Good night. Thank you. Yes, ma'am is typing a message and then we can close the class.
I am there for 2 to 3 minutes more. I'm just typing a message for a student. We'll let you know. Baki students and if Harleen ma'am, if you want to leave, it's okay. Just a moment.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.